Hi again, and welcome back to the Commissioner's Report. We're glad that you're joining us, and joining me right now is the Sheriff of Polk County, Sheriff Grady Judd. Sheriff, it's great to have you here.
It's my honor to be with you today.
Yeah, we're looking forward to talking with you and learning more about you, as well as we learn about Polk County. Now, earlier we had Commissioner Dantzler on, and he was talking about the board retreat. And I know you were there, and I want to get some of your comments in just a second. But before we do, I want to find out more about you, because make sure people know that you're born and raised in Polk County.
This is my home. The people in Polk County are my friends, my family, people that I grew up with. That's why it's such an honor to be able to serve them as their sheriff.
You know, when I was looking at, you were first elected in 04, re-elected in 08, and in 2012 with 97% of the vote. Boy, that tells me, I mean, 60% is considered a landslide. I don't know what you call 97%, but that tells me the people are very happy with the job you're doing.
I call that a blessing. And my promise is I'll continue to work hard and do my best not to disappoint the people. You know, they put a lot of trust in their sheriff, and I'm going to earn that minute by minute.
You know, when I think about your history being born and raised here, I can see why you treat Polk County as yours, your community, your backyard, so to speak, and why you take it so seriously. I mean, I know any sheriff would, but I can see where that attitude comes from.
Well, I love the people of Polk County, but when I think about how we all arrive at the station in our life, we don't do it by ourselves. It's this wonderful community that's always supported me, always guided me. It's my teachers in elementary school that taught me how to read and write. It's my high school teachers that taught me. It's my college professors over at Polk Community College back in the day. And ultimately, I think about the community building a child. Well, they raised up a sheriff as well.
And he's doing a great job, and everyone was very happy with what you're doing. Let me get back to what we were talking about, the board retreat. Once a year, the commissioners and the constitutional officers and staff get together for a chance to focus and really take a look at long-range plans. You were there, and you got a chance to share really what was some good news for the commissioners about crime here in Polk County. Tell me what you shared with them.
Sure, but first let me tell you that I wish everyone could have been at that board retreat. You would have seen how local government should run. We're so blessed in this community to have a county manager, Jim Freeman, who is simply the very best. County commissioners who have differing opinions, but work together for the best interests of the community, and that's what we want. We don't want everyone thinking alike.
Right.
This Board of County Commissioners is simply the absolute best. And if they could have seen them all working together at the board retreat, they would have been very proud of the Board of County Commissioners and their commission staff. I appreciate the commissioners inviting the constitutional officers, and specifically me, to the retreat, because I want to work hand in glove with those in government to make sure we deliver the best service. But the good news I had for the commissioners is because of their support, because they care enough to make sure we have the appropriate funding to keep the community safe, our crime's at a 43-year low. Our crime went down another 7.6% last year. And since 1997, where we instituted PROCAP, Proactive Community Attack Against Problems, we have seen a 69% reduction in crime. Well, none of that would have been possible without the support of the Board of County Commissioners, without their vision and recognizing that's what's most important to people of the community. They want to feel safe. They want their children to be able to play in the community, and they want good jobs. And our commissioners are working toward all of that.
You know, there got to be commissioners and mayors and sheriffs all over the country salivating to have those kind of numbers for their counties and areas. Part of what we were talking about, what's important to let people know about this, is sometimes the people don't realize that because they see something happening on television. It dominates the news, as we saw an incident or so here earlier this year, and people have a tendency to think it's getting worse and worse and worse, and that's just not the case.
Well, that's what's frightening. Do you know less than 1%, probably 1/10 of 1% of what occurs every day makes it onto the evening news? And that is the worst 1/10 of 1%. So people think, oh my gosh, things are terrible. Crime has never been this low before. I've been here my entire life. And since 1972, we've never had a lower crime rate. And you know what's interesting? It may be a 50 or 60 or 70-year low as opposed to a 42-year low. We didn't keep records any further back than 42 years.
Right. You know, it's also interesting, the other thing is people often have seen you, though, at those press conferences when it's a drug sting or a sex sting, and you're very out there with letting the people know what you've done, which I think is important because we see the bad news, but it's good to see the good news and the work that you and all your staff are doing.
I think it's important for us to communicate with the people that support us, that pay for us to do our jobs. I think it's important that we communicate to them that we're working to keep them safe. I had someone say one time, well, Sheriff, I see all these predator stings and you're locking up these predators. Oh my gosh, do we have that many predators in Polk County? I said, no, as a matter of fact, we have less predators than other communities because we go after them. But if we were to quit arresting drug dealers, does that mean we don't have any more drugs? Or does it mean we're not doing our job?
Right.
So we proactively go after those who target our children. We proactively go after those that are trying to sell drugs to our children. We proactively go after those criminals who want to take advantage of the senior citizens in our community, because you know what? Our job is to stand between this wonderful community and a very few bad people that want to take advantage. So we'll always be there to protect the children.
I can kind of see why you got 97% of the vote. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a very short break. We're going to come back. We're going to switch gears a little bit. You know, when you make that call to 911, what happens? Sometimes people do it accidentally. We'll tell you what also happens on the other end as well as we continue with our discussion with Sheriff Grady Judd right after this.